Two whites tonight. Good. Good. Okay, good. Well, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, um, Katie and Michelle, and of course, Michelle. Of course, you're always invited to come in, and Katie, and you're also invited to come in as well. And you're drinking sorrel. Okay, fantastic. Drinking sorrel with a little tops of Ray and nephew in it. Okay, okay, I can feel that. I can feel that. Graham is having U whites tonight. Is that Uncle Jay? U whites? Is it a new thing? Cadian, what is it that you're drinking? Um, I'm having just gonna have what should I call it? Simply water, sparkling water, and some tea, which I'm having as well. I was out on the town last night. You know, when you go into London, there's a is a beautiful sights in London. You know, went into the city, and oh, you have an Uncle Ray and nephew. Okay, other guy came here today to look at my stove, and we ended up talking about Jerry and nephew as well. Hey, Lorna, you're drinking jelly coconut water, and I guess you're in Jamaica, so you're drinking the real thing, the real McCoy. That's the real McCoy. That's awesome. Well, listen, I use the word hate speech tonight, and why I use the word hate speech is because the Prime Minister of recent days uh, have been saying that there's going to be looking at legislations regarding hate speech, and people have been talking about it as well, and I felt that it was a good topic to talk about, you know, and and it's the latest buzz because they always say sometime uh, Jamaica is like there's a new Netflix series going on or so, and so the recent days the latest buzz in Jamaica is someone will say the latest Jam Flick series. The Prime Minister of Jamaica proposed legislation to address and regulate hate speech within the country. Hate speech technically or typically refers to any communication, whether spoken, written, or otherwise expressed, that attacks or discriminate against a particular group or individual based on attributes such as race, religion, ethnicity, nationality, gender, sexual orientation, or other factors. The implementation of laws targeting hate speech aims to curb and penalize language or expression that incite violence, promote hostility, or spread prejudice and discrimination against specific groups or individuals. These laws often involve setting clear definitions of what constitutes hate speech, specifying penalties for those who engage in it, and establishing a mechanism for reporting and addressing instances of hate speech. However, the specific details of the proposed laws um, proposed by the Jamaica, including definition, penalties, and enforcement mechanism, would require looking into the official statements or legislative proposals made by the Prime Minister or the government following, the recent utterance. I always say that, like in law, it's always good to look at the mischief. What was the rationale? What was the reason? Where did it come from? Where did it emanate from for talking about hate speech now and not then? You know, and it's important to know that laws addressing hate speech often tread a fine line between protecting freedom of speech and preventing harmful and discriminatory behavior. Striking a balance between these two is crucial in ensuring a society that respects both freedom of expression and the rights and dignity of individuals and groups. However, I was thinking in a way, uh, in one breath, there's a talk of hate speech, but recently there was a talk about a ministry of peace. And then is it like some flares preventing incoming attacks by creating distractions like a submarine about to be torpedoed? And I say that because I'm not hearing much more about the discussion about the Ministry of Peace. And before that actually sinking or sunken, then we're talking about hate speech And therefore, when you're in a torpedo, watch these movies, and you see like our planes when an oncoming attack is coming, they will send out these spoilers or these flares to distract and to dismantle the attack or so. So that is something that I want to talk about. And I was trying to get Daniel Boswell. We were supposed to come on tonight, but I haven't heard from him. And persons can come in and talk about it. Those on TikTok, you're also invited to share your views. Remember to like and share. Take advantage of that opportunity. Those on Facebook as well to like and share. And those on the sideline who want to come in, there's a number which you can also you can actually call in on a number as well, which I've created for persons, and that number goes like this. It goes like call in on +44 7764 978 716, and those on I repeat the number 44 7764 978 716, and those also on TikTok. You're also free to come in as well to share your views. Let us talk about it while as well. And definitely tonight, I'm going to have a Mr. Richard Simpson, who has a restaurant in the UK called Coming Up. Every Christmas Day, he has this special thing which he actually invite people to have their Christmas meal. Today, with my church, we were there, church members packing hampers and giving out to persons as well, or the whole Christmas chair as well. So yeah, let's get going. And also, I don't know if you've been following Guyana, but Maduro and the President Ali got together, sat down with Gonzales or so, and they definitely somehow brokering a deal or something of that nature. I always say that it is so important when these things happen that people somehow allow the people of these countries to somehow feel like they're a part of it and let them hold shares. Years ago when uh, lots of lands were left in the UK, lots of lands were left for people in the Caribbean, Jamaica, for them to use, but it was all caught up into UDC, caught up into the government structure, caught up into the governors. And I believe that it is so important for there to be somewhat like a leg up. A leg up is so important. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if the people of Guyana slash Venezuela, because who knows, there could be a joint thing, that they all pull together, and guess what? The people all are receive shares in these things and not just given to any whims and fancy of government. So everybody become a part of it, part of the process. Hey, good evening, Katie and Snow. How are you doing? Let
Hi,
it,
good evening.
yeah. What is it? Let it snow. Let it snow. Let it snow. You
Let it
gonna let it
snow.
snow?
It's not snowing yet, but
Well, thank you for coming on. How are you doing today? How is where are you? Is this where in the world are you again? All this.
I'm in Brooklyn.
You're in Brooklyn. Okay. So that's New York, New York, big city of dream. I used to rap this song many years ago. New York, big city of dream, and everything in New York is all one scene. Too much, too many people, too much, too much. The laugh is a part of the rap. you know, and yeah. So what are you drinking?
I'm drinking
Red
some
Bull and
fruit
sorry,
punch. This
really?
is like pineapple fruit punch.
Okay, that's a pineapple fruit punch. Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah. Desiree, what are you drinking? Yeah, what are you drinking? Tell us what you're drinking as well. Michelle says she's drinking sorrel with a little tops of Ray and nephew in it. Graham says having Uncle Ray, big time. Listen, you let's talk about there's something exciting. You tell us what is the latest exciting thing. You got some exciting news. What's going on with you?
For
Huh?
me,
Yeah, you got some exciting news. Your book
oh
or something like that.
yes, so I'm actually on
Rasta
my
Farmer.
I,
Rasta.
I I had said that I wasn't gonna write any more books, but I'm on
Yeah.
my seventh book now.
Seventh book.
Yeah, I
Wow.
wrote three books since November.
November last year.
No, this year, like
This three books
about 3 weeks ago.
are these like some pamphlets?
Repeat that?
Are they like some pamphlets?
No, these are actually not pamphlets. They have material in them.
Wow,
Not a
wow,
lot, but it has content.
wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Tell us about the last one, well, Rasta Farmer, which is breaking the
Yes.
banks.
Not yet. But The Rasta Farmer is a book that I wrote to pay homage to my dad,
Yeah,
Stifford's John Snow. And I decided that I wanted to put him on as an author of the book as well, not just
yes.
to write about him, but I wanted him to recognize that, hey, he can become that person too. So
Mm,
I incorporated his name into the book, and I just talked about his Rastafarian lifestyle, how it influenced my lifestyle, and the
yeah.
mere fact that he was the one that made me really love being natural and understanding about being organic and eating organic food and just a variety of different things. It made me realize that you just should accept yourself as the way God made you.
Mm,
And
mm,
I realized something with my dad. He didn't have much, but he was able to provide for his family with what. And I have two fathers. One that's my biological dad. He's in Jamaica, and then I have another dad who raised me from I was about 12 until 26, and I call him the bald Rasta.
the ballad. Oh,
Yeah,
ballad Rasta, like me, my ballad Rasta.
yeah. So you have the bald Rasta, and you actually have the dreadlocks Rasta. So I
Today,
spoke about
yeah.
how they were ostracized back in the day and how we have evolved over time.
Mm.
So
The funny thing about when you say Rasta man, a real Rasta man, I saw a Rasta guy pass my house today. I was taking someone out of the car. I'm gonna say more fire, and him say yes, fire, Virgil. There's a connection, right? There's a more fire, Virgil, more fire, and he say yeah, more fire.
yeah.
But the whole essence. I was trying to find. I think I have a cover which you had sent me
Of
off the book,
it.
and I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find it. Because you had sent me a cover of it.
I think I
Um,
sent it to you on the WhatsApp.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking for it at the same time. But tell us about the Rasta Farm. I mean, the book. At the same time, even though it
S-
give a tribute to
So
your
I
father.
basically just, as I said, it's to pay homage to my dad.
Mm,
The mere fact that we looked in Jamaica, they used to look down on Rastas a lot.
yes.
And even in my own family, you had persons that made it seem as if because he was a Rasta and he had a lot of children, um, he wasn't gonna amount to nothing much in life. But I never looked at my dad in that way. I looked at my dad as somebody who was very humble, forthright. When I talked to him, man of few words, but very profound and
Mm,
it made an impact on me because to the point that I wrote about how I ended up locking my hair in 2013. I went on a lock journey where I went natural.
yes.
I stopped perming my hair because I realized permed hair would damage and it it would relate to like cancer and could cause cancer. So I stopped perming my hair in 2013, and then I started
Mm,
on my lock journey. I didn't cut my locks off, but I pulled it out and went back natural. So my hair is still natural. And then I talks about how his lifestyle, like eating ground food and just it's just a very relaxed lifestyle, just laid back and chill.
mm,
And yeah, that's it. The Rasta farmer.
yeah. Is
Yes,
it?
that's
It
it.
looks like it. It looks like your dad.
No, he looks with the locks, yeah, but not the tattoos on his arm. But yeah, the statue of him um with the tam on his head
Mm,
and the locks, yeah, looks like my dad. And
mm,
then the mere fact that he loves to do farming, so that's why it's called the Rasta farmer because he's a man
yeah.
that does farming.
I just want to break a while ago. Somebody just sent me a message saying, "Hey, Silburn, you may want to cover this murder investigation of the former MP's wife in Jamaica. 6 weeks
Oh,
after her death, it is now being reported that she didn't die in her sleep, but was shot 3 times." And then somebody just sent me a message a while ago as well. I don't know the details about it, but M.A. Ramsey, if you want to come on to the show and talk about it, Let's see if you want to come on to the show and talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it if anything. But it seemed like to be some developing news. You know, somebody just messaged me a while ago. Yeah, yeah. So this book is what was the target audience then?
All
For
right, so my target audience is it's primarily for children, but
mm,
it's not too young because I didn't want it to be just for toddlers. I wanted it to be for kids between the ages of 10 to 18 and above. So it can be for high schoolers. You're gonna read, it doesn't have a lot of pictures of like on the farm just yet because I haven't done that one. But the book is gonna be a series. So this is the first edition. Then I'm gonna have Jalia on the farm, and
mm,
then I'm gonna have Lucky on the farm. So it's to talk about being in St. Elizabeth, where St. Elizabeth is known to be the breadbasket of Jamaica.
yes.
So it is a parish that actually. Thank you, Mr. Desori.
No,
That's is it.
that's the person who's going to be creating your website. Sorry,
Oh, thank you,
just to let you
thank
know.
you so much.
I spoke to her
Love the
about it, so
cover. Yes.
she's gonna sort it out for you. You don't speak to her, yeah? Yeah,
Yeah, so it's gonna be a series. Jalia on the farm is coming next, and then Lucky on the farm is coming next.
wow.
And then I wanna embark on writing like a self-help guidebook for persons who are interested in publishing their own books. Since I've learned, I want to partake in helping others. So each one help one. That's my motto. So you help others to um publish, self-publish, instead of going the traditional route. Get your foot in the door, get your foot wet in the water, and publish your own story. Everybody has a story.
And do you many years ago they used many years ago they used to say that if you want to keep things away from a black person, you put it in
You
a
put
book.
it in a book.
Is that the
Yeah,
case? Is that the case still?
it is still the case. I realize that people are not reading the physical books as much as they used to. A lot of persons want to read the Kindle version, and it's more easily accessible on a tablet. And then even so, more so people don't even want that. They want to listen to audiobooks. So it's evolving over time because if you notice a lot, there's less and less persons going to libraries and internet cafes and so on because we have the accessibility to internet at home, so we have it in the comfort of our home, and we don't necessarily need, a lot of persons don't really go out and go to the library like they used to back in the day. At least I still go, but I mean, I don't see that much people going. But if you want to know stuff, put it in a book, put it in a book. And as I said, the book can be there for in perpetuity. It's going to be there forever.
That's very interesting. What you say about the the books. A lot of books are out there. I remember recently, the minister of industry and commerce was in the UK, and there's some people came with him regarding books, and their job was to try to get people from the diaspora to sell books in Jamaica, with their stories as well. And I guess what you're talking about is a story. So I'll have to make sure definitely link you with that lady there, the team of persons who came,
Yeah,
you know, because as you rightly say, a lot of information in books, because it's difficult. Even when I read my Bible, sometime I use a phone, and even though I'm reading it on the phone, I still like
I
opening the
like the
book.
physical book. That is me. I like the physical book to read from because my attention span on these tablets is very
Yeah,
short. So I
yeah.
have to read. I have to
Uh-huh.
read. I have to read the physical books.
Yeah, because the whole aspect of books now is words, isn't it? It is words,
Yeah.
capturing words. They always say sometimes words are like, put words in settings of silver, chosen words placed together. You know, my opening, which I don't know if you heard it, was talking about the hate speech and talking about speech being put together, which is there to harm. What's your take about hate speech? I know it's in in the USA big. It's also in the UK. Jamaica is thinking about it. What's your take on hate speech?
My take on hate speech, as you said, you mentioned the definition of it.
Yeah,
Um, in terms of how it affects people, that's what you're referring to, or
yeah. yeah. What is it? Because what they say, it's okay.
I think
It's a
it's just
legal
anything
term.
negative that you put out into the press, print media, or otherwise. Once it's something negative or derogatory, that is condescending, that is
Mm,
hate speech. Like, for instance, racism. That's if you come out and you outrightly say you don't really like somebody and you constantly degrade them. That's a form of hate speech. So it's something that is not uplifting, not positive, and the total opposite of that.
yeah. Hate speech is a legal term with varied meaning. It has no single consistent definition. It is defined by the Cambridge Dictionary as a public speech that expresses hate or encourages violence towards a person or groups
Yeah.
based on things such as race, religion, sex, or sexual orientation. Put that
Mhm.
in the context of Jamaica. If someone is to, where do you see hate speech based on a lot of discussions, and I put that also to persons who are listening. Where do you see hate speech then emanating? Is it when somebody says "God suck you" or
Yeah,
whatever?
that's a form of hate speech, but we look on it as something that is just like certain things that we say you drunk, raw, and those things. Those are hate speeches. But
You
in
think
our
so?
culture, we find we have become so censored and so
Desensitized.
conditioned with these words that is like we brush it off as nothing. You know, big head and certain things that you describe people is just your way of being looking down on someone. So I think that's what hate speech is. Like, for instance, when Trump was running and he was there insinuating certain things in his speeches on running up to the election, that
Mm.
that those speeches kind of helped to charge people up and let them went and did what they did. And that is hate speech right there.
It's a thin line though, because you know, someone just said, Graham said, is it a problem in Jamaica? He said, I've not seen it. Uh, and I just get hear from different persons. Discrimination by word outwardly expressed with strong emotion and intent to cause mental and emotional
And
harm.
emotional distress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Emotional harm. And like, for instance, when somebody calling you dirty dog and drunk crow, these words are forms of hate speeches. And what is the word where this harassment? I think
Bully,
isn't,
harassment.
I'm not sure if it's harassment is the word I'm looking for, but when you're basically like you constantly using negative terms to, I don't know what's the word to describe it, but it's nothing
No, no,
positive.
no, you're right. No, you're right. It's a
Derogatory.
very tricky, it's derogatory. It's a very thin line, and I think, um if one is to sort of put it in some sort of context, like the United Nations talks about, in common language, it talks about hate speech refers to offensive discourse towards targeting a group or an individual based on inherent characteristics such as race, religion, or
Gender.
gender.
Hmm.
If you say somebody, boy, you look like Jankro, you
Yeah.
ugly like Mandu or coconut, is that hate speech?
Of
Sorry,
course, that is hate speech.
is
But
that hate
as I
speech?
said,
Is that hate
we are kind of conditioned in Jamaica
speech?
to like accept these things. We look on it and we say, oh, you brush it off, and as your parents say, you must have thick skin. But these things can cause emotional distress and damage.
Well,
Mental distress. So yeah, it is not something that is gonna be uplifting.
well, Graham said, somebody said, but it's important that Jamaica doesn't create a generation of snowflakes, in a sense whereby one gets offended very easily. I'm just throwing this one out. People get, is
Mhm.
it that people gonna get offended very easily for everything? If somebody, what about when it
Well,
comes on to
I think we are more thick-skinned in Jamaica because you don't really find that Jamaicans take those things like real offensive. I think Jamaicans will take threats where you're gonna cause physical harm to somebody more serious than hate speech. Because when when you're there jarring, playing along with each other,
Yes.
Jamaica's not really Jamaicans don't really take those things serious to me,
Yeah.
because it's like you play around, oh, big head, big foot, oh, your body skinny, like how you this, that, you shape
So
out,
so
your outer shape.
when
These
so when
things are
so
derogatory words, but
a
we
lot
look on it and we laugh about it.
so a lot of the songs, like Kukum Kum, Kukum
Rokum,
Kum
oh,
and
kukum
all.
kum. Yeah, I remember that song.
I mean, are these gonna be caught up into the whole frame of things? Because
In
to
the
Lorna
long
song,
run,
huh? Huh?
I said, will it get caught up in the long run?
Yeah, will get caught up in the long run as part of the, because I mean, Graham and Lorna, these are part of the points that the prime minister maybe is putting on to, and talking about, because at the end of the day,
So I said, it's a part of our culture.
words manifest into physical things. They always say sometimes what start even in some town in Jamaica end up in New York, in Brooklyn as well. I think there's so much discussion to talk about it, and desires, honestly, in Jamaica, it's going to be hard as it's a part of our
Yeah, it's a
culture
part
to
of our
speak,
culture. And you
some of
grow up
these.
on these things. Your parents play around with you, your siblings, your cousins. It's really a part of our culture. So it's, as I say, you have to have thick skin in Jamaica. You can't really go down, sit down there and let these, you brush it off.
Yes,
They say sticks and stones may break your bones, but words don't
words,
harm you, but
words.
they do harm. But in Jamaica, that's what they tell you. They tell you those stuff.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, a big question which was put there by Desire. There's something more deeper than that. Why all of a sudden that now an issue? One of the big question which is putting out by lots of people talking is it that the government, or the prime minister, the present ruling party, do not like when people criticize it and call it names, and is it that is what a lot of people are also saying, that this is a way of shutting
The
down speech,
criticisms.
shutting down speech, freedom of speech, freedom of
Well,
expression.
yeah, it is. I think that's what they're. Because I went to a service the other day, and we were talking
Mm.
about what's his name, the Muslim, this Muslim guy. I can't remember his name, but he's gonna sue the government for, because
Jamaica, in
his
the
rights
USA,
is being infringed upon
in US.
because of his inability to express himself about, I can't, anti-Semitism.
Yes,
Um, but yeah, freedom of speech is a part of our culture, and it's a part of the worldwide worldview culture as well. So to come and say, as long as your words are not causing imminent distress on someone, then it
yes.
shouldn't. I don't think it should be something that is no bringing to the forefront.
Well, as Desire said, so them gonna have to ban everything that
Most of
move,
the words we
because
use, yeah, that's true.
because Jamaicans really just go for it, and they just have a field day in expressing themselves, you know. But I guess in a way, and I put this out there, and as I said, Ashra, hi, how are you? It's good for you if you can come in as well. It is an opportunity to understand what the mischief is in law, the mischief rule, talking about what is the intention, where did it come from, was it somebody drop it into the prime minister's heart, you know, just like how you got the ministry of peace, and all of a
Hmm.
sudden now you got this hate speech. And then, as someone said, there are bigger things, bigger fish to fry. You know, every time they say bigger fish to fry, they say crime is a bigger thing that needs to fry. When they talk about the Constitution, we've got bigger fish to fry, which is the Constitution.
Yeah,
Not the
the
Constitution,
reform
but the crime. That is what people are looking at. Bigger fish to cry, to fry, to fry.
to
Bigger
fry.
fish to fry. We're going to elsewhere and get some fish, you know. But I don't know, and it'd be great to hear what people say. Do you think that there's a need for hate speech legislation in Jamaica? Hate speech legislation is in the UK, it's in the USA, and it's
And
everywhere. and it's also a part of the whole aspect of defamation
of
of character.
character. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is something which is I think is very crucial. So I'm not going to knock. I won't knock the prime minister for bringing this forward, because you've got to bring things up. And then it's just like in the UK, there was a thing called the poll tax. Um,
Mhm.
Cadian, there was a thing called the poll tax. And before the council tax came out, there was a poll tax. And when the poll tax came out, a lot of people made noise, and they were making noise, and it didn't go through. But then they just created the council tax for local areas. So therefore, this could be a way where the prime minister is testing the waters,
To
because in
see
real
where you
terms,
can go.
hate speech in principle is good, but it all depends on where, because it is somewhat can be deemed as subjective. Because if you listen to the wording from the United Nations, it's in common language. What it says, hate speech refers to offensive discourse targeting a group or an individual base. So therefore, we can specify now and say the Jews, when you actually anti-Semitism and all those sort of things, that's
Hmm.
hate speech. Black, when you call them and racism,
Yeah.
that's hate speech. Right now, when it comes on to homophobia,
Yeah.
attack against gays and the
That's hate
bisexual, what,
speech as
that's
well.
hate speech. So therefore, we talk about race, religion, or gender. So race is in Jamaica, religion is in Jamaica,
And all those
gender
things
is.
are there.
But at the same time, the preachers have come out now to say that, hang on, you're going to try to stop us to say that there's hell. Because I think in the UK, they don't want you to say hell and burn and fire. Because that is going to be deemed to be offensive,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
and that may threaten social peace. So the United Nations says to provide a unified framework for the United Nations to address the issue globally. The UN strategy and plan of action of hate speech defines hate speech as any kind of communication in speech, writing, or behavior that attacks or uses pejorative or discriminatory language with reference to a person or a group on the basis of who
Oh.
they are. In other words, if them a JLP and lick out against them, that's hate
Mhm.
speech. If it's PNP, he lick out against them. Come on, guys, is that the case?
um, I'm not sure if it will be in that regard. I would
But
think
they're a
it's
group.
more on a
They're a
personal
group.
level.
Yeah. People make reference to my Scottish heritage and the actions of my ancestors there, right? That's someone said Graham there. Um and he said it's like putting a gag order in a
On
sly way.
someone. Yeah.
Yeah. And and I mean, what do you think about the bloggers in Jamaica now? I mean, they're having a field day. It's freedom. What do you think about the bloggers in Jamaica? Many people are saying it's like they're aimed at the bloggers.
Well, I haven't really watched a lot of bloggers like that,
Mm.
and so I really don't know what their content. I know I watch one that's called Mix Up Jamaica or something like that.
Yes.
But his stuff is usually like refines it in such a way that you don't really get much of a hate speech out of it. I've really I don't know if I'm being biased because I like the show, but
Yeah.
I don't really get that feedback. But yeah, maybe you do have bloggers out there who have, because if you know anything about this couple called Shanzi and Nino, and they had some kind of defamation lawsuits that they
Mm.
won, and it was, I never know what the basis of the case was, but they
Yes.
made some posts in the blogs about them, and it was all over. And as I said, they won the case against them,
Mm.
against the bloggers. So yeah, I guess it's deemed towards bloggers to kind of sanction them, so to speak, about what they put out in the media.
But you see, the thing about it is that I hope it is not, because as someone said, robust conversations are part of Jamaica's culture,
It
and
has always been.
yeah, and people like Sus.
Mhm.
only thing only thing that Sus
In
is
fact, I
now.
realized that Susan Mix Up bring more clout to our channel than anything else. People
Well, when
love
it's
go and watch those stuff.
exactly. If I'm to start say, Next week we'll talk about Mother Lashy and how she
Mhm.
get that. You'll say everybody come on the Silver and Show or something like that. You know, people love those sort of discussions, and I think that the benefit I believe and the plus of
Mhm.
bloggers is that they're actually reaching out to persons and reaching out to a community and having this discussion which they might not have otherwise, and I believe they serve a fundamental purpose. But I do believe as well, that persons have a responsibility out of because of their interaction. They have a responsibility for the thing which have uttered. I mean, I've seen a few bloggers being sued or so. Listen,
Yes.
I've had before anybody come on the show, and I'm going to interview anybody on a particular topic, legal or so. I tend to vet them because I did have a someone came on my show once, a couple of years ago, about 3 4 years ago, and was saying some things, and then all of a sudden I got a call. He was being investigated. So therefore, if you put things out there, you need to take responsibility for
For
it.
it, yeah. Yeah, you have to take responsibility for the work that you put out,
Mm,
um, and how it's affecting other people. It's
yeah.
only your what's the word for that? No, ethical duty to do.
Yes. Yes. You got a responsibility. I mean, uh, uh, you know, sometimes when I go like this, because sometimes I'm thinking what I'm going to say because it is not that you're scared or what, but you got to make sure that you're giving out due diligence, using your due diligence in
Due
bringing out
diligence,
information.
right?
You know,
And
and as a lawyer, you got to be careful what you say and how
mhm.
you communicate effectively to empower. Because I believe very strongly in the whole process of education, and this is for me is education. This is what I'm talking about, education now, and that is why I'm going to be doing some shows in the new year with Professor Rosalie Hamilton. Albeit we're going to tighten it up every 2 weeks or so. We have a show doing these discussions on education because I'm not going to be the one of those persons going to knock the prime minister and say, boom, boom, yeah, try shut down bloggers, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to want to find out what is the reason behind it. What is the rationale behind it? Because if someone is going to be hating on a race, that's hate speech. If someone is going to be cussing someone and putting them down or whatever like that, that can be construed as hate speech. So it is to be defined in a particular way, but not to be used in the wrong way. And that's why you have the courts
Yeah,
to
to get them in the butt when they do that,
yeah
when
to
they step
tighten them
out
up.
of bounds.
Yeah, yeah. Um, somebody
And
says
if
something.
you
Yeah, go on.
notice too, like you, as you mentioned about bloggers, Tasha K and I think it's Cardi B. Cardi B won a case against Tasha K. She is a big blogger on YouTube, and she recently lost the case because of the things she was spreading rumors about
Cardi
Cardi
B.
B getting herpes and whatnot, and
Wow,
she said it wasn't true, and
that's not
she
good.
sued her for how much millions, and she won the case against her. So when you're putting out content, you have to be mindful of what you put out there about people. But we in Jamaica, as I said, our culture is we don't really sue as much as Americans do
So what
and
you say?
other
So
countries.
what you say? You just find out something and just drop it. Cause everybody say, "Man,
Yeah,
the first
we
one
find
drop
out
it."
any little news and you don't go research it to know
You
if
don't
the
just drop
basis
it.
of it is true. And you
Yeah.
say, all right, for content wise, you put it out.
Yes. Yes. Well, Prince William, no, Prince Harry, as you
Yeah,
know,
Prince Harry is suing somebody now, a blogger, and he won that case as well.
is that the one? Well, 140K,
No, what
and he
they did was hack his phone.
hacked
The
his phone.
blog,
Yeah. Yeah.
the bloggers are. I think it was some news media people
News
hacked his
media.
phone and
Yeah.
took
Yeah.
information from it, and he sued them and he won.
Yes. And what he say is it's a new day. He say for him it's not about the money.
Yeah, it's not
I
about the money. It's
yeah.
to set this, like to kind of let them realize you can't do stuff like that to us.
Yes.
We're humans too.
Yes. There's free speech, definitely, but there are responsibilities. Listen, when you're writing your book, do you just
Mhm.
drop anything in it?
No, you have to think about the things that you put in there. You have to be mindful of what you write about people because they can sue you for,
Mm.
defamation of character and so forth. So
Yes.
I don't really write about people. I mostly write about my family,
Yes.
and is most of the stuff is factual stuff. And even when I was writing stuff about them, I changed up the names.
Yes.
I change up the names so they don't know it's them unless I get the.
Wow.
And what I generally do is I ask the person's permission. Hey, I'm gonna write this. Let me know if you're interested, and then they will give me yes or no. And if they give me the yes, the go ahead, then yeah, I put their names in my books. But other than that, I don't disclose people's names and stuff because everybody deserves their own privacy and everybody deserves some form of dignity. That is what I believe.
Yes. 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 You know, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for coming on. And my name is Silver Sidel. I'm with Katie and Snow, and we're talking about the topic, which is what is hate speech. What's your take on hate speech? This is something that the Prime Minister of Jamaica recently made some statement on, that he's going to be considering hate speech, and we're looking at it. Many people are saying sometimes, is it a way to shut up people? People are keep your mouth, because there's a saying, and I'm going to come to this now, and I'll ask persons about it. Uh, is it that, will this make people more now scared or fearful in speaking up on things? Because I understand that people are being scared and fearful of saying certain things or constructively critiquing authorities in certain way. Do you think this will make people a bit more scared, or
No, I don't think it will make them scared. I just think it will make them, be more conscious of the things that they put out their mouth
yes,
and whatever they put on paper and in the blogs. They have to
yes,
be more conscious and mindful of that.
yeah? What are you gonna sue for? It doesn't make sense. The people them not have the money.
Yeah, they don't. All right, like in even what she mentioned, Cardi B sued Tasha, and Tasha filed what I think bankruptcy.
Yeah,
So in the long run, they do have their ways of protecting themselves. So they might put out information on you, and then, as I said, they might not have any money to come and compensate them for the damages that they caused. As I say, it's called emotional distress. But Jamaicans, as I said, don't really sue people for those type of stuff because we are using it in our everyday language.
yes, 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 yes. Well, also, what's his name? Um, thingy there, former lawyer Giuliani, former mayor of New York,
Yeah,
has just been sued 148 million.
mighty God,
For, yeah, I think Lester was his lawyer or something like that.
mighty God.
Yeah, I think Lester was his who's lawyer that? Or something like that. Who's that? Who's that? Michelle?
Mighty God.
Well, I'm getting a feedback.
Yeah, I'm hearing the feedback
Okay,
too.
that was Michelle. Lester, can you hear us? Lester is on mute. I didn't mute Lester. Did I mute him? No, I didn't
Yes,
mute him.
yes, yes. I can hear. Good night. Yeah, the war
Yeah.
one.
Nice.
Did I mute him? No, I didn't.
Hi, Lester. How are
Yes,
you doing?
yes.
Hold on. I think Michelle having
I'm good.
some. I feel, yes. Actually, at one point when Lester came on, he said, yes, man. What's up, blogging God?" Feel like he was gonna call me blogging God,
Plugging God.
or blogging nephew,
Mighty God.
or blogging son. Michelle, let me
Um,
say, what's up, Lester? Yeah,
um, I've
Michelle.
been listening in and out, but and I saw some of the comments. I think that we are not appreciating how Jamaica has changed, and the concept say we not sue a lot, and the concept say we not have no money for do it, or there's no money to collect is not an accurate one like one time.
Mm,
If you check the courts, a whole lot more people are sued. Believe me. Um, and there can be jail time if you know pay, or if you're not able to pay. Um, and they can take positions that you have also to have some type of compensation.
yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
for the
but
stress.
some people sue because they want to teach you a lesson to. You
Yep.
know,
yes,
um, and why I'm up to join this is that something like this is right up my alley, where there's a guy on Facebook that really defame me on Vita,
Okay.
and me kinda, yeah, he's a, me so busy, me not
Yeah.
really, you know. Anyway, so
Yeah.
I was talking to my lawyer to pursue and I have a strong claim. I can send you the clip them Silver after the show, the
Yeah.
things them after the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And this guy going hard. Um
Mhm.
and I can easily win a defamation suit against him, you know.
Would it reach to the
But
point where you call it hate speech? It comes in different forms as well at the same time. Because hate speech can be a bit defamatory
yeah
as well.
man, because in my not inside, but in my directly state say me a homosexual,
Mm.
and within our culture and within the, especially within the political realms that we operate into also, and the corporate realms we operate
Mm.
also, right? I can be harmed. I can
Yeah.
be
Mhm.
disassociated from the whole heap of factors surrounding
Yeah.
certain things,
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
so and then regardless of how we might think people are professional stuff like that, in our culture, see me, people don't want to be associated closely with
That.
with certain type of stigma and connotation
Yeah.
and tags, you know. So um one of the good things still burn is that me a 45 now. If
Mm.
most 25 me that deal with streetwear.
Mhm.
So you're just like Trump.
You have to be smart. Mhm. You end up in jail.
Yeah.
And a smart, I all now.
Yeah. Can I just Michelle? How are you? You're sorry. Let me
I'm
see.
I'm good.
Okay, you're drinking your rum and
No,
Michelle
no, I'm
is.
not drinking rum straight up. Just a little twist in the sorrel. That's it.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Can I just ask Lester first?
Yes, I'm sorry.
What's your take on the utterance by the Prime Minister moving towards and contemplating, thinking about um Jamaica hate speech laws? I think he froze, Lester. He froze. Michelle, until Lester come back, I put that to you, Michelle.
Um, I don't think he should go
Me say,
there.
me say everybody has to,
Let's you're frozen. You're frozen a bit, Lester. Sorry.
All right, go
Mhm.
on. Let's go on,
I
and then
only
he will come
frozen.
in.
What?
No, we're not frozen.
I
You're the
only
one that
frozen.
freeze.
It's
Oh
interesting
no,
a
I
while
only
ago what
frozen.
happened. Lester said we frozen. Now we are telling him say he's frozen.
You're
Really?
frozen. You were
You
frozen.
frozen,
Let's go
Lester.
on in. Let's start answer, and then I'll come
Lester,
chime
go
in.
on, answer. Yeah, you were
I
frozen.
mean, the question was regarding the hate speech that the
Yeah,
prime
yeah,
minister
yeah. What?
proposed before.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, as a evolving society, I think it is necessary because, and again, including me, Silburn, from me, I come from in a blogging Silburn, right?
Yeah.
Me used to say some really reckless thing about people on social media, like crazy
Mhm.
reckless,
Yes.
you know. Um, I remember when Peter Phillips got sick and was doing the cancer thing. Me used to get up
Mm,
every morning and I say, Peter Phillips dead yet? You understand me? And
yeah.
although that may not be hate speech, but it's not nice.
Yeah.
So people have a tendency in Jamaica for just make some reckless speech.
Yeah.
This
Mhm.
lady one time, 2018, I think, she made a post about Andrew Holness and his wife. Or I think his wife said something, and she made a post that with her bury her two sons them alive in a shallow grave and with a hang Juliet
Mm,
Holness. Me busy at work, and so the whole world I call my phone, but me really busy. So people keep on a call me, keep on a call me. I say, what happened? And when me take up my phone, me she say, no, me not call the person name, but it's a particular high ranking cabinet member.
Mm,
And the person say, yo, you see what I go on social media? I say, no.
mm,
They must say, yo, I'm gonna send you something. I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna say, what you say? And so I'm going in panar. Now, how can you say you want the prime minister for dead? You want him wife, you want hang him wife with bag wire and bury him two son them alive in a shallow grave. Regardless of
mm,
what a political leader do or a leader for a country, short of genocide, these things are things that you're not supposed to utter against your leader. Right? So I'm
yeah.
going hard pan her. Like literally hard pan her. Me expose our daughter working one of the ministry them, our grandpit them. People start show up our yard.
Mm,
She have to move the same night. Our daughter called me up on Facebook Messenger and said, please, me I beg you. I said, my mother reckless and stay, me not have nothing to do with it. I said, look here now, you get group up in that, you know. If you control your mother, I'm say, me I go hard pan all of you until your mother take down the post. But
mm,
I'm gonna take down the post, I'm gonna take down our Facebook page, our mother move from those the night because people start threatening our mother life. I'm gonna say, you see it? Una lick back, una hit at bro God. And when we hit back now, una ball like say we wicked. Me say, be careful when it's about people because people are people who love them and people are gonna defend them people. And so the same thing with the hate speech. You can't seem to come out and just say reckless things and hateful things about people and expect say people are gonna take it and go so you're gonna go court or people are gonna thump in their mouth.
Yeah,
and
it's
for,
either one or
and
the
for and,
two.
and and for the sake of likes and all those sort of things, people just say things and just jump it and don't
Well,
vet it. Can I ask Michelle? Michelle, what's your take on the?
Um,
No,
you know
Michelle
me
is
already.
gone.
Me I say Jamaica
Mm,
too licky licky. Every damn thing America do them want to follow America. Number one. That me I say. Um, with what Lester just said about the prime minister, they're supposed to be, well, I don't know if them have the CIA in Jamaica or whatever, but no one is supposed to talk like a threat against the president or
or the
his
prime
family. Here in
minister.
America, the CIA don't show up at your doorstep already
yes.
once you talk. And I see even LA Lewis do it constantly with
Mhm.
the prime minister. I mean, always I said, so, oh come nobody not go check LA Lewis, you know.
Yeah.
Oh come nobody got not go check him. No CIA not go check him for him to be talking
Yeah, I think
about the
everybody was
prime
up to
minister
speed.
like that and all that. As far as the hate speech, no. You I don't believe in that because to me, you're cutting people. You cut me from saying what me really want to say, and not that I'm gonna be saying. Um, you see, it entails too many things. Like, like say you have somebody give me and him want me for say me want to see him want me to see him as a female. I mean, I tell him no, me see you as a male because that's
Yeah.
who you are. You bring up that hate speech thing now. It all coming like a hate speech man against this man. When guess what? That's the way I see you. I see you as a man, and that's who you
Yeah.
are to me as a man. You know, if me for says to somebody, oh, hate speech to me is if you're getting um you're bringing prejudice in it, where in which me, I'm talking against white people or me, I said this, but I mean, come on. Right now on social media, you can't even say kill. That's some bullshit.
Right. You know, I've
You
been
can't even say
wondering why
kill.
they
You have to
saying that
say
from the other
they
day.
off them or they on or they undied or they died or not
Unalive.
even dead.
Yeah, they
You
use the
can't even
word
say you
undied now
can't even
these days.
say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a new word.
I mean,
I
I
was
think this is
wondering,
Unalive.
ridiculous. We're not.
unalive, right? That is a new word.
Yeah, where are we going? Where are we going with our speech? You social media, you can't even say gun. You can't even say this sponsor. It's ridiculous.
Hmm.
So that mean that
Being
we're all
censored.
bring up with kids them know that them can't even say what's on their mind. You have to suppress it. That's bullcrap.
Hmm.
Bullcrap. Yes, somebody
Eh,
talking about the prime minister and his family and it's saying
derogatory
Even
thing.
if them say hateful thing, but as long as it's not a threat.
Mm-hmm. That's what I said.
If me want to send me the like bro God knows big and this and that, that's no hate speech. That's just how me feel about bro God, and that's it. Okay? Now if I say, yeah, me for dead, or if somebody need for go, yes, then you can say bring the CIA, because that is like you're putting out a threat towards
Mm-hmm.
the prime minister and his family or what have you. But the other rest of it, I think, is all bull crap. What they're doing now is they're conditioning us now that we cannot speak the way we want to speak. We can't say what we
There's
want
no
to say.
freedom of speech.
Yes, this is what it's conditioning us to do, to be. It don't make no sense to me. That's my take on it.
Let's say you're gonna say something.
That is not true, Michelle. That is not true. Jamaica have one of the most robust, open, brutal medias I have ever seen. Right? The things that people in the media, right, and now new media say about political leaders. There are many countries in the world where you can't say it. There are
Mm-hmm.
certain things like in a Singapore, we never talk about the Saudi country them. In a Singapore, you can't say certain things about the leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even in a North America, there's a lot of things that you cannot say about the president, right?
Mm.
So I don't know why people in the diaspora keep on a push this narrative that Andrew are trying to be a dictator. Hate speech is clearly defined as that you are inciting violence or harm against the individual.
Yeah,
Saying Andrew is big, saying Andrew knows big is not a hate speech. Saying you hate Andrew is not a
yeah,
hate speech. You just not like him, right?
Right.
yeah.
The definition
I
of hate speech, the definition is clear, right? If you're going inside, if you're gonna say all big knows people for dead and Andrew knows big, that a hate speech,
Mm-hmm.
because you clearly say you are a target a specific set of people to get harm.
And that is what I
That's
just
not
said,
what that
Lester. I
no,
just
but
said
you
that.
are
You
saying
you I just said that. I just said once it's a threat, yes, you're supposed to once it's a threat towards the prime minister, yes, you're supposed to get checked. But if me, what is wrong with people's opinion? If me can't state an opinion, me not gonna state an opinion for saying for dead or no, I would never do that. But what I'm trying to say, this thing with the hate speech on our band, it I think is foolishness. You're conditioning the citizens now to not speak, not come
That's
but
out
it
with
right.
has
what
not
it's
been
like
this
you're
for the country
suppressing.
yet,
It's a
Michelle.
can
suppressing thing to me
Oh,
that you have to
right.
suppress how you
Yeah.
really feel.
In regards to
okay.
that
Go go
about
go.
suppressing suppressing our feelings and our thoughts, the person I was trying to remember is Minister Farrakhan. He's planning to sue the U.S. government because of this same freedom of speech thing. It's in your constitution that we can speak our minds. We have freedom of speech,
Yeah,
but yet still you're trying to, as I said, suppress us, muzzle us, whatever the word may be.
Yes, this is
Yeah,
what it's
and
about.
we have to now refine our words to suit people. Let me explain something to you.
Exactly. And I think that's wrong.
It's wrong.
mm,
When I was writing my first book, F him and keep it moving, I let her editor, is a white lady. I don't know where she's from, but she said to me, "Oh, you sure you want to go with that word to put on the book cover?" So I'm like, "What's wrong with it? Isn't it a word?" Um, because it might be offensive to people. But I'm like, there are
mm,
books out about the sub to art of not giving a F. So what is it about me? Why can't I use the word? Is it because I'm black? Anyways, I went ahead and I put it out there because it's a word, and even if you look on Amazon, it's not even censored. And we're getting to a point now, as you said, in TikTok, the social media platforms, we have to be we're basically we're being conditioned, sensitized to
Conditioned.
choose our words and to cut. It's like we have to change who we are just to
You have to
please.
change who you are, and this is where
Yeah,
they're leading us. This is the agenda that they're
it is
putting
an
on us.
agenda,
well,
especially when
It's
I
an
see them talking
agenda.
about certain things. You can't use it. The
Yes,
KIL, you have to spell it
this is
out,
how
or
it
you have to.
started. Them
yeah.
been
Can I?
started to
Yeah.
know. Them
Yeah,
been started, and
yeah.
this is all them just go through with it right now. Them a
Mhm.
condition we right now
Can
for
I
bring
just come
on
in?
something else and for bring on something else and them
Yeah,
thing. No,
yeah. Can I just come in here, Michelle and Katie and also Lester?
Mhm.
I'll go back to the laws again. The implementation of laws targeting hate speech aims to curb and penalize language or expression that incite violence. Let's stick a pin right there. Let's stick a pin right there. Incite violence.
It's-
You see, the word about big nose or whatever, all those things may incite violence by some people because they say, "Hey, I talk about my virgin," and may create some sort of violence there, promoting hostility,
mhm.
spread
no,
prejudice.
that's
No, no, no,
ridiculous.
no, no, no. I'm just trying to show you how subjective. I know the thing can be. Wait, Michelle. I'm just telling you. Again, specific groups or individuals. Groups or individuals. I think the point what I'm trying to say right there now is, you're right. It is curbing you, whereby you can't
Yeah.
feel that freeness to
There's
speak
no
as a
freedom of
user
speech.
and to share, because now you're going to be watching behind your back every minute because somebody's going to try to shut you down. So you're right.
Yes,
All I was saying right there is that based on those words there, that is actually saying keep your mouth.
Yeah.
You can't flow free. But at
yeah,
the
you
same
can't.
time, but,
You
but, at,
it is
but,
wrong.
but at the
You
same
can't
time,
say any.
yeah,
You it's. Let me tell you something. This
yeah,
this LGBTQ LMNOPQRS.
mm,
Okay,
Mhm.
they have too much talk to me, and this is where it's all stemming from. Is that they are trying to please these people.
Mhm.
Them are trying to please them by conditioning us for us not to say certain words or certain things to these people. And it's not that you're saying something hateful or anything like that. Them might take it as hateful
mm,
because like me, you, all of we can be in the same room and something happened, but you experience it different. Me experience it different. The other person experience it different. Although we at the same thing we experience, but everybody different experience it different because we are all individuals. Now, to me, it'll teach my if me have little kids know that they're not free to speak. It's teaching them now that they can't it's certain words you can't say and all them things that you know
Yeah.
seen at the website dictionary now from ever since COVID, how many new words they put in and how many words I'm gonna take out.
mm.
Did you guys realize that?
No.
So what you're saying is that the Jamaica, which should have been a way to stand the ground and to be free, we are now becoming taken over again into the system. The prime minister believes
Yes.
a particular pathway.
It's
But what
like
about
ridiculous.
let's just say that Jamaica has developed to a certain point and is developing, and we got to start to take on board um, uh, international compliance. I think that's the word, international compliance. To be
Mhm.
compliant with the
The
international
laws of the
world.
country, of the country.
Michelle, is it
Huh?
about international
I didn't hear
compliance?
you. I'm
Is
sorry, I kind of blocked out for a
yeah,
few. What
isn't
was
it
that?
about international compliance? Operating on a internet, Jamaica wanting to be what do you call it, in 2030, be a fully developed country.
I don't know when them I get fully developed,
Lester, where is it?
Cause them still a write with pen and paper in them police station and still have them this and them that. Them police, them still there in the draconian were days them back in
Time.
the days them.
Medieval.
Please, I mean to know where them a talk about them want for up. Me no see
Lester,
no up a come up with that. Police car them not even have your computer in it where you just can run a license plate. So what them a talk about them want for come up? Please.
Which
hold on.
country is that about, Michelle?
Jamaica.
Yeah.
Them have that. The police cars them have them
Michelle,
computer where them
Michelle,
run
you,
the
you,
plates them
Michelle, you
if them want to stop.
continuously, Michelle, you continuously make public statements which you have no information about.
Yeah.
A lot of police cars in Jamaica have devices in them that if there is drugs or gun in another vehicle, it can detect it.
Yes.
Why you think Prime Minister Andrew Holness went to Israel in 2019? Why you think he got Israel go do? Go get one of the best security forces technology. Why you think that within a week or two of Philip Paulswell um baby mother murder, them capture all four men? Why you think within about like 36 hours there's so many murders are being caught and stuff like that? When a gunman I show him gun and them something there, then ping him location and go to him. The Jamaica police was to work with drones and them things. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The Jamaica Constable Force technology has stepped up
Yeah.
so much, Michelle. Don't say things that you
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. Let me just bring in. Let me just bring in. Thanks for that. That's a good point there. Richard Simpson, how are you doing, sir?
Hi, good evening. Good evening. I'm well, sir. I'm well.
Well, is let-
You have
let's
to you have to forgive the surrounding. I'm on the road and you invited me to it, so to join you this evening. So I said, well, I couldn't miss it, but I've been working and I just concluded an event. So
yes,
here
yes.
I am.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Simpson, managing director and owner of Coming Up Restaurant in the UK here, do some special thing every Christmas Day. I've got Katie and Snow from the USA, Michelle from the USA, Lester from Netherlands, and myself straight out of Ochi. You know,
Eh, eh.
even though I'm in the UK.
Good
You know,
evening. Well,
yeah.
all of my family's in Ochi right now. They in the
I
room.
know. So the Ochi family. Listen, we were just talking about before I touch base on to you. We are just talking about the hate speech that the government of Jamaica is well, the Prime Minister has been talking about and wanting to implement legislation. What's your take on that? I don't know if you heard about that of
Well,
recent days.
I'm not one for. I don't subscribe to any of this so-called hate speech because it comes out of political correctness. And I think the whole idea of political correctness has gone too far anyway. Sometimes we just have to grow a thicker skin. And we all talking
That's what
about
I've
people.
been saying.
We've been talking about people being marginalized and all the rest. But what we have to be careful as black people is that we don't enter into somebody else's agenda
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and start unwittingly
You hit the
pushing
nail
their
on.
their their narratives.
Yep.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
those whom, and I don't, because I'll find myself not being politically correct if I speak too much. But the fact of the matter remains that as black people, and I always try to look at any subject matter in the widest possible context.
yes,
And I believe that when I was part of what they call REAL at the time, right, which is Racial Equalities Action Solution.
yeah,
As Chris Gibbs was the chair and renowned founder for over 30 years and handpicked me. I was the secretary. And
yeah,
this was at the time when the white paper had just been tabled about disabilities and all kind of minorities coming under the auspices of what was it? It wasn't racial equality. It had another title, but it was bringing everybody under. So what it essentially did was diluted our purpose
mm,
because we were about racial equality, but then we had all then to stand up for all kind of so-called minorities, disabilities, um, those other people with the number, the alphabet, them lifestyle and them thing there. Um, so we found our whole purpose being diluted, and then it became, as far as I was concerned, ineffective because there were some things that even now each to their own. But you keep your things to you and don't push it in my face or push it on my children,
mm,
and so on and so forth. Each shall live and each abide to what they particularly subscribe to, but don't influence or have any impact on anybody else, unwittingly or otherwise. So, my general thing on this here speech thing, as I said, is develop a thicker skin, because
Mm-hmm.
to
Yep.
my mind, it's just pointless. There's
I've
more
been saying
important
that.
things.
Up to the
It's
point
more
of
important things. You're on point. On point with that.
mm-hmm.
and you know one of the things that I wanted to touch on a bit there, Mr. Simpson, um,
Richard will do, man.
Richard.
Richard will do.
Yeah, Richard. Yeah, the world is. They said Jamaica is developing and evolving, and they're talking about words, language expression that incite violence, promote hostility. Um, they're trying to deal with peace in Jamaica, like a ministry of peace, trying to somewhat curb the violence. Isn't this speech as a way to sort of assist, or as you rightly say, we need to keep growing our backbone stronger?
Yes, well, they always, when talking about these things, they put a big responsibility on the artist. Um, what they're pushing forward in terms of lyric, and they they have a case in that regard. They have a case. I mean, my son, the youngest, is a producer here in the UK, and is coming in with all this grime something, and that's the kind of great great grand near the a DJ and a dance hall, as far as I'm concerned, right? So with that having been said, the same thing is being is they're pushing for here, in terms of knives, in terms of murder. Sorry, forgive me, I've just lost the light. Let me see if I can do something about that. Yeah. In terms of murder, I mean, I'll give you an example. We have one of the studios below one of my restaurants, and could I keep a knife? Every day, as much as I buy knife, it's gone missing. They were just taking them, stealing them. I mean, to the point where one day one of the staff members was jerking chicken and had their knife with the block to chop the chicken ready to serve. And so one of the little boy them come around and push her out the way and
Mm.
take the very knife. But they were saying that, so yes, the speech and because, like they said, if you want to learn anything, you put it in a song. So we know that anything particularly relating to music and the repetitiveness of it will go into the subconscious and will no doubt have some form of impact. They're even talking about when you're driving and you're listening to certain music and certain rhythm, it make you drive more hostile, it make you feel calmer, depending upon what you're listening to. So I have no doubt that, as far as the music is concerned, but particularly pertaining to Jamaica, there are, and it goes, there are standard forms of language, standard forms of speech, and it's coming from a place not of hate. It's not coming from a place of hate. So you have to look at everything back to its root. It's not, it's just expression. So everybody can get itty tighty about this and that and that and that and want to be, you know, as I said, politically correct. But as far as I'm concerned, there is no place for that, because once again, it's some minorities that I don't do check for, that have the loudest voice and have the money and have no chicken outside and have lots of disposable income and are educated and can place themselves in amongst the auspices of power, in the corridors of influence, and can push them little agenda, and they don't make up not even 1.5% of the community. So
Mm.
as I
Um,
said, so that's my general take.
Yeah. Let's say you're gonna say
Richard,
something.
Richard,
Yeah.
evening, sir. I
Yes.
hear you,
Good
but
evening, my brother.
let us take, yeah, man, bless it. Let us take the sexual orientation aspect out of the equation, right? Um,
Mm.
when you have vloggers, influential persons in Jamaica, and we are specifically talking about Jamaica now, and they have a
Yes.
problem with another influencer or another entertainer or a public figure, a politician, whomever, and them use
Mm.
them platform to create mischief. Them use them platform for incite violence, for defame, they spread propagandas and misinformation about the person who them have an issue with. And what the police have seen an increase in is online beef turning into real life crimes, because people
Yes.
have an issue with each other,
Real life
and,
manifestation.
and it come into the streets, right?
Mm.
And what I've seen over the last 5 years in Jamaica is like I say, spice. Dancer has the spice, and our dancer them have an issue. and the dancer them come on live and online and start talk all kind of defamatory things about Spice, right? And so you have the fans them now in the comments disagree with each other, right? And people click on people profile and might see that them people go to school there, them and them take it to a whole new level. So when we are say we have bigger things and grow backbone, people are actually dying from these things, right? You have females who are Instagram influencers who have
Mm-hmm.
other females jealous of them, right?
Mm.
And enough time there's a through a word or some online clashing, and they may meet up at a party and it become violent. So these are actual things happening
Right.
in
But my
Jamaica.
brother,
So
if I can just say,
when we have this, it's
that's
not
been
just
going on
one
from that.
aspect.
Right. That's a different case.
That's been going on from that. It's all about those. What the government want to do is put some more money in schools and places of education because half of these people
Exactly.
can just juke up them body and farm big and wind up themselves on stage and put blue color, pink color, and yellow color here and call themselves influencer. I don't really, these things again with the artists has been influencing people a long time. So this is nothing new. It's just that the platforms are bigger and the influence is much wider. I accept that. But any fool who's gonna go and wash their linen in well, by definition, them a fool. Anybody who's gonna wash their linen in public is an idiot. Let's
Mm.
call it as it is. And they want to go back to school and spend some more time. So the government should it should be a program of education and bring the levels up. If you make they say kitchen cloth on tablecloth. You never have anything. You go on this thing, you flash through thing, and you start get influencers, and people start give you money for your foolishness. Even as you're talking about propaganda, by definition, propaganda is propaganda. It's not reality. It's lie. It's not
Mm.
true.
Exactly.
So no matter what the platform is, if you're gonna lie, you're gonna lie. And if you're gonna lie, then you have to meet the full force of the law. So
Exactly. Exactly.
those things are set. So it's down to individual conscientiousness, intelligence.
Hello?
Mm.
That's all it is. And we just keep skirting around issues and not dealing with the crux of it. Not getting to the meat of the matter. The meat of the matter is people want to be educated. It's all down to education. You wouldn't have
Yeah.
if you were if every, I mean and I'm talking ideology, obviously, but that is one of the biggest issues in Jamaica as far as I'm concerned. And I know that it's been addressed because I see it right across the island where the places of education are really are really the people are investing in them and the technology is being given to those of the youngest age and coming through. But I just think it obviously it's a matter of time. This is the excitement of having such platforms readily. Any influences as you say, they can be almost literally overnight. They can be sensations. It's like when them talking about athletes and soccer players, what makes these people, what makes their
Is it me or is it
information, their
reset?
opinion so important all the time when all them do is kicking around a piece of leather in England here in particular? Because they get a lot of money, and because they have money they have influence, but it doesn't mean they're not chat foolishness. They're
Right.
foolishness, and
Yeah.
that's where these people get their platform.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. Education is key thing. So your view then, Richard, is that this is like a way of um following a follow back people. It's follow back America, follow back UK. It is taken away from the independence of Jamaica to a certain extent.
Well, the fact is, I'm not, as we say, I'm not knocking anybody per
Yeah.
se because you know the Caribbean, the Africas, things are hard, and I've seen many influences in in the motherland. I have business in the Gambia as well, and and they're very progressive.
Yes.
Why? Because the level of education is much higher, and everybody see perfection. And so they've said I can't remember the expression exactly, but You know, those without education just talk about people. Those
Yeah.
who have purpose talk of more constructive matters, whether
Yeah.
it be business, whether it be personal development, whether it be whatever. And if you don't have any, you just chat people and scandal and cause, as the gentleman was saying, form all kind of propaganda, all form a lie, just to make trouble. But that's been there from that.
Well,
And you know,
I want to thank you for this point. I'm going to ask you about your business now, but one of the things I just wanted to bring up, and this is a point which I've been picking up a lot, is when prime ministers, government come up with all these different ideas, and so, or when they go to United Nations and they make their votes, when they take on agree with certain international directive, do they actually have conversation with their constituents and the people before, or being to the fact that they are government, they just go ahead and do what they want to do in the so-called interest of the people of Jamaica or the government of Jamaica? Yeah,
sorry,
Michelle.
you,
Sorry.
you 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 cut out slightly on. I didn't catch all of it.
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is that whenever government go about like this whole thing about the freedom of expression, hate speech, talking
Yes.
about the recent talk about the Ministry of Peace, talking about going to agreeing to the some Samoa agreement, um, talking about missing to in Israel with the resolution and saying that they support Israel and all those sort of thing. Do they have conversation with the people before, or they just go ahead and just make these directives at the same time?
When you're talking about consultations, I don't think that anybody has been consulted in any meaningful manner, quite frankly. But
Mm-mm.
this is what I've said continually, and I use the African, the motherland, as an example. When the original leaders came around, they had conviction and they stood for purpose.
Yeah.
They had they wanted the benefit for their people, and that's why the colonialists killed them. Now, you can bring when your heart is in the right place, you don't necessarily have to have the backing of the people per se, even though the people have put you there and the government. So if you have a ticket, if your people have put you there, that's enough of the consultation if your heart is in the right place and
Mm.
want the benefit of your people, because you will have sufficient knowledge, intelligence, intellect, by virtue of the fact that you are now the prime minister. So you should be, and then you will have obviously your advisors. So
Yeah.
I think once you've given somebody the remit to go and look about something on your behalf, then you've by default already entrusted them that
Yeah.
what they're doing will be for the best. And the detractors of that particular leaders, the detractors will say, well, you can vote him out, it's you put him in there. But by and large, I have a whole issue with the democratic so-called system, because I don't think there's any democracy there. Because if you want to influence anything in the world and you have a 4 or 5 year term, what can you do?
Mm.
I know of those politicians where I hail from, South Saint Elizabeth, where election time come and you buy 2 flour and 2 pound of rice and whatever, and you get vote, and that's about as far as it goes. And
Yeah.
I feel that you know Jamaica being what it is, and the literal lay of the land, mountainous, that you can't cover, from back in the day. So you have centers where things are focused, and obviously town is where the main focus is. So the dissemination historically has been very difficult of
Yeah.
information, consultation, and the rest, and the feeding back. Because most of these people, as far as I'm concerned, are still licky and are
Yes.
favoring their own, and it's time to full your bank account. And I,
Yeah.
I believe that I don't see anybody with conviction. I tell you the
Okay.
truth.
Conviction. Michelle, you have that what that point there?
I
Sorry.
agree with him 100%. I agree with
Mm,
Richard 100%.
mm.
Yes.
Cadian,
Yes,
We
I
have
agree.
we have other things to think about than some doggone hate. Can we keep our culture? Can we just keep our little culture where we have?
Right. That's like
It's
killing
like
who we
it's
are as
like
a
them
people.
a try to let we just lose every last bit of our little culture where we're having at Jamaica. You know, we are
Mhm.
some unique set of people. We are
Yeah.
unique set of people, and it's just like them just want to lose everything about what culture.
mm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Lester, your government is trying to let us lose our culture. Let's say you fall asleep.
What
Everything them
what
jump on. Where America do, where UK do, where
Them
can
following.
you just implement our own little thing in our country and that's it?
Is Jamaica slipping away into oblivion?
Yes.
If they
Lester,
keep on doing what other countries are doing, yeah.
mm.
Everything where the town if them wear them all wear wool sweater in a Jamaica where you don't need no damn wool sweater in a Jamaica just because American
In
people
a
are there.
ochi, or in a ochi.
Well, the only time I see them, you have to wear wool sweater is when you go in a place called Newport, just outside the middle of Mandeville. Up the cold,
I was thinking of
I'm
Mhm.
Mandeville.
wonderful my people them come from right up in a Davidton all the way up in the mountain there. Okay?
right? Well,
And we
mine are
know it
from.
cold, but we
I
still
have
don't
some
need no
people up in
wool
Wales.
sweater.
Yeah. Well, let's say it didn't come in. Richard, tell us about your Christmas Day special and coming up. And
Yeah. Could I just say,
yes, please.
as well, the when you're talking about Jamaica and talking about the influence, as I said, I have business in Grenada as well.
Yes.
I have a restaurant in Grenada. I have apartments in Grenada. I have interest in the Gambia, and I can absolutely assure you that in both of those areas, Jamaica is so well. We know that already, but Jamaica is so influential, and that is why it is absolutely important and critical that the culture remains. Because all those in the Eastern Caribbean, nobody so-called like Jamaican, but everybody wants to be Jamaican.
Mm.
I was in Saint Lucia
Yep.
way back in the 90s and the 80s, and them time bus man in a Jamaica couldn't play music, just about play radio. No reggae music and radio. And when I go down to St. Lucia, the most Rasta man and all of the minibus them as you know, government transport, you might say government, um transportation. Everybody a lick out reggae music. Eh, And so with such a thing of being so much influential, I've got those in the Gambia now. All you want to mention to you is Jamaican, and that's it. Your royalty.
Mm.
Mhm.
So there is a place. I mean, one's culture is everything. One's culture, your identity, it's all enveloped in this uniqueness of a people. So I think that should be preserved, because when you're talking to me about UN and all them people there, and IMF, they're just puppets organized by the powers that be for further manipulation. That's all I see it as.
Mm.
Um, I
Yes.
was, as I said, off air earlier to Silbon, do things
Yes.
locally. Do things locally. Deal with CARICOM. Look after our interests and the interests of that region. Don't emulate
Mm.
Europe, America, or anywhere else.
Yep.
Everybody enough has enough on their plate and issues in the area. And I use um the motherland as an example when
Yes.
talking about what was happening down Niger. They were wanting to come with guns, the African Union, and kill their own people. And by God's grace, they saw the sense and didn't do that, because the founders, those who fought for liberation early on, was all about self.
Mm.
It was all about self, and building yourself and using your abilities and everything, your substance, to develop your people, from Marcus Garvey teaching and coming right up, which
Yes.
which I've sat in a meeting years ago, and the grandchild of all those Indians. There was about five, and I can't remember all of them now. Malcolm X's daughter was there, and there was five of them, and every one of them said, every single one, when they were speaking about Mahatma Gandhi, the grandchild was there. They said
Yeah.
they were all Marcus Garvey students of one shape or other. They all subscribed to Marcus Garvey teaching of self-reliance. So this is the backbone of Jamaica. So anything pertaining to Jamaica and Jamaica culture, preserve it. Because when
Preserve.
it's gone, it's just that gone. Come on.
Yep.
So
Preservation.
sorry, that was
Preservation is
just my input.
yeah.
Yep.
Preservation is key.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Before you wrap up,
But
Richard. Yeah. Christmas Day coming up.
yes, okay. So I own my business is called Coming Up. CUMMINUP, Coming Up Caribbean Takeaway Restaurant and Caterers. Every Christmas, and by God's grace, this will be the 14th year. Um, it's free. The free meal, Christmas Day. We cook. My family, well, I said my family would typically cook, but everybody down at Oach, wife, in-laws, grand picnic them, everybody. So I'll be out there on my own, but I have lots of volunteers. So we just open the doors and just feed people. So we cook up everything from a traditional English Christmas meal. They have the turkey and the roast Irish potato and various other things like that. And then we have jerk chicken and rice and peas. So which and then we just try as much as we can, particularly for the homeless, to just provide a day of relief, if you like, those people who sleep in rough, because the deprivation in the UK is it's not this street paved up goal idea from when back, the deprivation here is right, and people they don't have. So we just want to offer a little light in a dark situation, and that's what I do on Christmas Day particularly. But
Yeah.
I noticed, sir, you put up the Lewisham Shopping Center store.
Yeah.
You want me to talk about that too?
You want to talk about Lucian thing there?
Well, yeah, this is that's another situation that's live right now. I mean, I've had um six, seven stores in the UK, ranging from Brighton, which I still have, out on the coast, which is 70 miles out of London. Um, I have
Mm.
I've had another six stores within our borough of Lewisham, South London. I cater all over England. But what has happened is I've been giving my children stores, and they've been rebranding them.
Yes.
So the last I had was my original store, and the one which just came up on the screen. That one
Mm.
there, which is a little kiosk type in the middle of our local shopping center, our mall, and it's the first one of its kind
Mm.
historically from the place was built over 40 years ago. And what happened was, out of nowhere, they gave me 1 month's notice, 1 month's notice to vacate after 6 years. And that's a very hot situation right now, because I have all of the activists are waiting. And I kept saying to people, maybe it's better it happens to me, because we're pushing here, we have to, right across the world, but right now, it is so important to take back the narrative and take control of our narrative. And
Mm.
this happening to me, somebody who's, I even picked up an award last night. I have to say, I picked up an award last night. Um,
Yeah.
I'm a community person. I operate in the commercial sphere. I've been running this particular business now for 33 years. My eldest daughter has 4 stores herself, under her own brand. My second daughter has one. My third daughter has another. Um, the youngest is so. The point I'm making is we are a very progressive people, and people look towards me as successful of influence. So when they see people, when we see us being handled in such a way that we are an employment, there it is. Yes, that's the Christmas
Mm.
Day. That's the restaurant in an area called Catford. Um,
Yes.
so when people see me being handled in such a way, then they're coming behind me now, and we're going to tackle. We will be tackling the owners who are company called Land Securities, and they're the biggest um property developer in the UK. They've been
Yeah.
around for 100 years. They are huge, Land Securities. And so there's protocol. So you can't just get on the phone. And this is what happened to me. I got a phone call
Mm,
giving me 1 month's notice. So I took it as a joke. I
mm,
dismissed it. I called back the number a week later, and there was no answer. Then I got a
yeah.
call another 2 weeks after that, saying that I have to leave, and I had was to go by the 2nd of December. I went last week, the 2nd of December. By the 4th of December, they had another what we call bubble tea. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it in Jamaica right now, but it's some kind of Korean, Vietnamese, something that's very gentrified. Is very they've now installed that. It says that you've muted my microphone.
No, it's okay. You're being heard. You're being
It's
heard.
okay. All right. Okay. So the point I'm making is we have to own our things. We have to control the narrative, and this is a battle that's just about to start. So that was the story on that one. I've got
Yeah.
one more thing I'd like to share, if you can just bear with me. Now,
Yes.
do you guys know of the or heard of the New Cross fire? The New Cross fire, which happened 43 years ago, January
Mm,
1981, the 18th of January 1981, where 14 people died,
mm,
and they were all young people. I was outside at the time, just up the road, 4 o'clock in the morning. 15-year-old, I come from club, now drive the 3 hour I walk foot
yeah.
at 15. But what happened was that a fire took hold of the building during the party. It was a 16th and 18th joint celebration where
Mm,
some of my friends died, as I said, 43 years ago, January. So we've now organized. Well, it was spoken about, and I've been invited to it, but I'm now a director, and it's called the New Cross Fire Foundation. The New Cross Fire Foundation. And out of that, a month after that had happened, um, there was the first march, and that was the action for the Black People's Day of Action, which happened in April of 1981. So it's a political hot potato because the government and the Queen, nobody showed any interest. 13 young Black people died, and there was no interest whatsoever. And what made it worse, a month after that, and don't where this fire took place was I just say where this fire took place was
yeah.
only less when it was 5 miles from where the Queen's Palace is, Buckingham Palace, and nobody showed any interest. A month later, there was a fire incident in a club. Nobody died in a club. Some people were injured, but nobody died in a club in Ireland. And the
Mm,
Queen sent representatives to Ireland to obviously to represent her and the UK and the main government. But yet still, 13. We say 14 because one committed suicide within a year after the event. So we talk about 14 people died in
mm,
the said house. You can see on the screen here now, and nothing was done. So we've been forever dealing with the injustices, and
mm,
we know. I was 15 at the time, and the celebrant was 16. We know this is the last opportunity for us to influence the situation and make something very positive come out of this. So my organization, the New Cross Fire Foundation, are actually working with part of the University of London, our local campus, Goldsmith, and
yeah.
producing modules for educational modules to go into the school, because this is not only a local history, it's a national history. So, listen out for that as well. And
Yeah.
please go onto the website, ncff.co.uk, ncff.co.uk, and register so that we can
Yes.
put you on the database and spread the word, and you'll be kept up to date. And so that's it. That's it.
So
Thank
that's
you. Thank you for listening.
www.ncff.
FF. Yeah, New Cross Fire Foundation, ncff.co.uk.
.to.
Co.co.uk.
Oh, .co.uk.
Yeah,
.co.uk. Okay, okay. Thanks for that. I'll just post that up there now, which I believe is this
yeah,
www.ncff.co.uk. That's
that's
it.
right.
That's right. All right.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
listen.
That's
Well,
correct.
listen.
Thank you.
Well, listen. Listen. I know you have a busy day, a busy night today. Thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
Richard, and we appreciate that very much. And keep the good work. And
No, thank you.
we link up at Ochi. Let's say it's from Ochi as well. You know, I anointed him. I made him
Yeah.
I made him an honorary Ochi man. Ochi man.
Well, I like you know what? I'm gonna send you something which I'd like you to disseminate as well. Remember, we spoke briefly about the international situation that's gonna occur in February
Yes.
in I believe it's Mobile in Jamaica. It's an African thing. When we say African in the widest possible conference, the widest possible context, everybody of everybody black, basically, everybody of
Yes.
African descent, and the first of its kind, and they've got we're talking about new currency, we're talking about digital currencies for those who are interested. But again, we're talking about controlling the narrative. I'm going to
Yes.
send you some information and please pass it on. But it's actually happening in Jamaica, the first of its type. The first of its type. You've got all these representatives right across the motherland, all from Antigua, from Barbados, right throughout the Caribbean. It's a very big organization
Yes.
that's been in the making for some years. But
And
the inaugural push
yeah.
out is in Jamaica. So that's
When?
showing you how influential Jamaica is.
When? What? You know?
It's I think it's February, March, but I will certainly get the information to you. And
Okay.
it's
Good
called
stuff.
Ujoma, and it's about creating wealth. In fact, Jose, whose organization it is, not only was a banker, but he owned a bank. Very
Yes.
influential person, and made tens upon tens of millions and hundreds of millions for banks. You
Yes.
know, moving funds and all that. So he's a highly educated guy, he's a financial man, but
Yeah.
it's all about generational wealth. And we
Yes.
want to be able to develop wealth within
Yes.
our own, with not only our own families, our own generations, but that's the basis of developing economies. And that's why the Jews have such a voice, because they have a strong economy, they have money,
Yeah. Strong
so
economic
therefore they have
background. Yeah.
influence.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Richard. Listen. Well, thank you so much. Yeah.
Bless you, my brother. And
And have a
thank you,
safe
guys.
one.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being on the platform with you all.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Cheers. Cheers. Ok- Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay. So that was Richard Simpson talking about the Christmas Day special, and also a very passionate guy talking about empowering ourselves as much as possible. I want to go to Lester. Um there's been, you sent me something, Lester. You sent me a video, a voice note, sorry, a video with you with Nationwide, and somebody also sent me something a while ago saying that, hey, Silver, you may want to cover this murder investigation of the former MP's wife in Jamaica 6 weeks after her death. It is not. I never knew about this. I never knew about this, Dave Lester.
I
You
just
know about
heard
it?
about it this morning too.
You heard about it, or you know about it,
Yes, I just heard about it this morning. And
Lester?
they're saying
Yeah,
that
man.
the autopsy came back with her with bullet wound. Bullet. She got shot in.
Um, it happened. It happened with that Jamaica, man. She died with me that Jamaica. Me land the 9th and she died the 10th of November. For my mother's birthday. When me hear about it, me I said, but the man why strong and healthy, oh, she just dead, so you
Yeah,
know. Um, and me, she just go her sleep. There was no reports of she had a long illness. She have. I mean, I said this not sound right, you know.
Mm-mm.
Um, and they had children.
what's
They
his
had a
name?
son that died
What
a few years
what
ago in
what
a pool.
what what's his name? What's his name?
Giant
The
Silvera.
MP? No, the
Yeah,
man. The
former
man.
MP. Yeah,
What's
yeah,
Silvera?
Joyland Silvera.
Okay.
Joyland Silvera.
Yeah. Okay.
They
You're
had a
saying,
son that died also a few years ago, a 2-year old or 3-year old son that died in a pool accident. he drowned. But it just sound really, really suspicious to me. Me never, but kind of step back from highlighting certain things about the opposition People's National Party because people think that can't be balanced. And my things just
Oh, he's
because
a
it's a
PNP. He's
PMP.
PNP. He's PNP.
Yeah, it's a PMP. The whole family,
Okay.
him wife family, him wife mother, both of them are a strong PMP family them.
Mm.
So me never really touch upon it. Um, even today, me get some underground, on the spot information about the whole Philip Palwell murder of the baby mother and get the direct link to people who live on the street where the murderers them come from everything. And me never publish it or cover it because people can't some way regardless of how balanced me might want to disseminate information. People think that because me a labor me I said this and not that have nothing to do with anything. Um,
Uh,
but when I heard it when I was in Jamaica, I said, "What this woman from what me know about this woman is a very hearty woman. There was no reports of any long-term illness or any short-term illness or anything at all. So how she just dead in her sleep just so. I'm just all right. So, but because she died like that, then we're gonna do an autopsy. Sometimes me wait until the autopsy report come out. So this findings are gonna be big implication to the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the detective them, because
mm.
gunshot wound can't hide. There are three or
It
more,
can't hide.
at least
Mm-hmm.
three. So how the homicide detectives rule say she die in her sleep,
In a natural,
me not
right.
understand, yeah, like natural causes.
Right.
Um, and why has Jylan why reconstruct the room? Why renovate the room?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Me-
Mm-hmm.
me just-
I can just imagine lots of people now are digging into
Mm-hmm.
this now. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So wait a minute, how long
But
ago
but
was that? What you said earlier
that-
this year when you were down there?
six six 6 weeks
When did that
now.
happen, Lester?
She died the 10th of November.
Oh, in November here, that just passed.
Is that
Oh,
her?
okay.
Yeah,
That's her, Lester. Yeah. Mm.
yeah. But Silburn,
Oh, beautiful
the
woman.
people are gonna say, I saw the politician next year. The whole of them are wicked. No, this is one man. You know, and we have to stop that. We have to start focus on the person or the incident and stop whitewash everybody with one brush.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it the
That's
same
That
right.
if
as
a
the
person,
isn't it the same as the killing of the Moody brother and sister, where everybody will come and say, I got people who are saying to me, boy, they make their beds so them lying it. It's like people are not accepting some level of crime as accepting it as that's the way it should be because of how they are. When really and truly, Jamaica is not a capital punishment state. Well, it's on the books, but it's not being effected. And also, jungle justice is not something that is looked on as a way forward. Some people may look at it, but the killing of the two, the brother and sister, irrespective of what they did, and irrespective if they double cross another scam or whatever like that, I don't think we shouldn't reach to the point where we start to justify. I use the word
Right.
justify these killing. You understand what I'm saying, Cadian? That
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
justifying some killing is. Lester, you say sometime. You say
Them a
sometime.
murderer and them still out there
Yeah.
on the road.
This
They're
is what Lester.
murderers
Lester,
and they're still out
you
there.
say this point sometime, Lester, which is right. That Jamaica is a safe country relatively. The killing that we are seeing are all linked with somebody double cross DV. A person are not going to go out of the way to sort of kill people just like that. Is that what you sort of say, Lester, to a certain extent? Not saying
Silver,
you're
Jamaica,
justifying it.
Silver,
Yeah.
Silver, and people may disagree, but I've never been robbed in Jamaica ever. Right?
Mm.
I'm gonna go everywhere.
That's because you're well known. You're out there and you're well known out there. Nobody not rob you.
Okay.
Anyway,
Shut.
me not
Can't hear
understand
you.
that. Me not unrobbable. But no, all right. What I'm saying is that
Mm.
Jamaica is relatively safe based on what you do, who you do it with and where you do it, right?
Mm.
Now, we can't compare Jamaica um, safety to the Netherlands safety or to Germany or Belgium or Luxembourg. No. No,
Mm.
say Cadian, right? They're
Mhm.
Jamaica and she drink and intoxicated and a go home by herself, like a walk from a party, go home and stuff. The high possibility if she in a something short and revealing that she may get some type of attention that she don't want, right? Put Kaden in the Netherlands, that not happen to her.
Mm.
She can go home and this is something I say every single week where young women in a vulnerable state of intoxication and then go home, they reach home safe. Now, you have to be aware of yourself and your surroundings.
Yes, yes,
Now,
yes.
when we say Jamaica relatively safe, we not kill tourists. But when you have other countries like Puerto Rico, Dominica, Brazil, them places kill tourists hard. Mexico, these
Mm.
places are not safe.
Kidnap them as well, for extortion to get money. Yeah,
See
kidnap
that?
them.
That is not
Mm.
safe at all, right? I've been there. So now what happened is that the island small and all right. So we had Portland TV, right? And so Portland new people get them news from Portland TV. I report on the news in a Portland. We wouldn't think that Jamaica have this high crime rate,
Mm.
because them not in the national news. But because we have two national stations and them make it's a the reporting from crime is a promotional aspect of media houses that them use to sell the newspaper and them news items them, right? There's way more things going on in Jamaica in terms of good and bad, but way more things than just the crime. But they
Yeah.
over report on the crime, right? No other country, USA, England, Europe, me not see how them delve in a reporting on the crime like most of the news. If you watch
Mm.
BBC, you don't see where like the heaviness of murders and something is promoted on the TV. Them delve in
Yeah.
a wide range of issues, right?
Yeah.
But in a
I mean,
Jamaica,
I
we
mean,
don't.
I mean, the UK just came out of a situation whereby there's a lady who got missing, and for 7 days that was the top of the news. But they finally, well, they found. Well, they said she's still missing, but I believe the news is now confirmed. I've been saying that she's been found in a river, just like a previous one, Nicola Bully, and they believe that there's no sort of nothing untoward. Maybe she whatever happened. But you're right, Lester. But at the same time, Lester, there's not this high level of killing in the UK per capita at the same time, and that is the reason why you're not going to see a lot of emphasis on that. Because when Chris Cabba was killed, the black guy by the police, that was in the news a lot. So if there's crime, it's not like they are going to be talking about it, because there are a lot of things. BBC one on 6 o'clock will highlight a lot of things. Politics is a lot. The Rwanda crisis is going on a lot with the boat people, but at the same time, if there are killings and if there are, let's say, it would be at the top of the news. But that's why. So the point is that per capita, they are not having the the level of killings as Jamaica is. Yes.
All right, Silver. Let me ask you this, Silver. What is
Mm.
the murder number for the UK?
Well, I don't know the murder number now,
Well,
but even if I
no, no,
find it, it's
but
not
the point is,
gone.
but the point is, the average Jamaican know the murder numbers.
Yeah,
That's the point. I tell you, the over promoting
yeah.
of the murders that might happen. Why is it important that every night on the news them tell the murder statistics? BBC don't do
Oh,
that.
you mean to say that? You mean to say that, like in 2022, it is more or less than they're sort of feeding those sort of things that we're talking about? Yeah.
And the bloodletting continues, right? The triple murder in Hanover and Lilliput and push the numbers to 1415. BBC don't do that.
No, they
That's
don't do
not
that.
done in Miami, Florida either.
Because that's the
Michelle,
international. These are local
Michelle
news.
cannot tell me. No, no. Michelle cannot tell me the Florida murders number. She cannot.
No, no. But what
Exactly.
I'm trying to say, I overstand where I say Lester. I overstand where I say that like every time a murder happen, them a compare it and them have the statistic of how many this and how many. We don't need that. We really don't. But in Jamaica, I mean, me Fred,
Afraid of what?
me, I don't know. I'm just. I guess like what you're saying, how they push it out there on the news so much, it scare people.
All right. Let's talk. But hold on, me go talk, Michelle. When last one of your family member them in a Jamaica got robbed?
No, none of my family members get robbed. No,
All right.
Mm.
Well, in the last 20 years, when last one of your family member then get murdered?
no.
We afraid of?
Mm. Mm.
You're
This,
right,
I'm saying
and
the
you're right.
news
You are right,
the news create a fear there, you know.
Mm.
huh?
The news create a fear there, you know.
So,
Yes,
so
yes.
yeah. Listen. I think your point is right. At the same time, there's things are happening, but it depends on where you place your emphasis on. Because right now, tourism is at a high level. You know what I mean? And business is booming there. Business is
Mm-hmm.
booming in certain different areas. Some banks are
In
going great.
certain areas, right?
When you look at certain things, you're seeing things are happening. But if there's a high level of concentration, because even okay, let's say even the killing of this person here, Mrs. Silvera, Miss Silvera. Right now, I just did a glean a while ago, and it's all over. Everybody's talking about it, and people are going to be digging into it. And you think about it and say, hang on a second, should the media, should the press, and everybody going into this like this now? It's not their business, really. Don't get me wrong; it's good to be interested, but
What
shouldn't
is
this be
not
left
their
to the
business?
police?
What do you mean?
Now, when I say it's not their, okay, people will be digging into this death, and people will be trying to find the answer, and you're going to have a lot of people on social media going to work it out, and then it's going to be a big thing. But really and truly, that is not beneficial to the police and the authorities who are trying to sort it out, who are doing their investigation. Why not allow them to do their investigation?
Silver.
Yeah.
And I think me hear Michelle make a comment like this one time, you know. I may be mistaken, but I think Michelle said this. Andre Stevenson, you see the on him platform and so-called I give information. I try to solve the murder of Slikina and the other influencer girl that was killed by the
Yeah, I
policeman
remember that. Yeah.
woman. Right? Andre Stevenson did no such thing. He did no such thing. He never found anything new. He never found out anything new that the police never know. The
Mm.
police, while investigating, cannot report
No,
on the
they're not
spot
supposed to.
information or
Yeah,
play-by-play
No, they
information.
can't.
Police don't operate,
you can't. Yeah.
right? But how Andre oversaturate in program and the media space with, oh, I was the one who I spoke to this and I did this and the police are
Don't.
gonna do that, and
Why you have
before
to
him
say Michelle?
announce.
Me no listen to Andre that way there. So no say I'm Michelle
Hold on,
and
hold
me say it to
on,
you.
Mhm.
hold on. I,
Oh, it's
I,
Katie
I made
again.
sure the
Hmm?
okay.
And
I
me.
made sure the and I said you
Not
may
me.
have to
Because
and you
I
don't
don't
think
listen to
it is
Andre
true.
like that. Uh-uh.
My apologies, ma'am. My apologies. But what I'm saying is that there are a lot of people now on the ground in Jamaica thinks that Andre helped the police to solve the crime. When because
But
of
the
the
crime is not
technology.
solved. Is it solved? Is it solved? It's not solved.
Yeah, man,
They'll,
them lock up the guy, man, Maitland,
yeah, but they'll find the girl.
No.
because they not find the evidence linking her to it to the crime.
But they haven't found the body. Have they found the body?
No.
I
Yes.
guess they found the body of that girl.
No.
No,
Which
let's.
one you talk? You talk Slicky in you talk or the policeman girl?
The police
Donnelly's body is not yet found.
No, they don't find her. No.
when a precedent has been set with cartel. A precedent has been set in Jamaica with cartel, isn't it? Whereby you don't have to find a body, isn't it? Sorry, Lester.
That different. No, that different. With vibes cartel thing different. At the digital
Why?
flow,
Michelle, answer Michelle Lester.
Why is it
because of the
different?
digital, because the government they after him. Do you think the
Gold.
government of Jamaica really busy about Clive Lizard Williams? Hell no.
Me no know
Well,
nothing
after
about it, cause me no really know nothing
No,
about it. Me not
I'm
keep up
saying
with them people
Lizard
there.
was killed. Lizard was killed. Lizard was a part of Klangsman them, right? And Gaza gang.
Oh,
The government
okay.
of
oh,
Jamaica don't really care about Lizard. They wanted cartel out of the way.
oh.
Mm.
That's the plain facts. Cartel like get too powerful.
And that's why they wanted ISAT out of the way.
Isaac is an idiot. Yeah, you're an officer of the court. You cannot do answer certain things.
Yes, yes.
You know that as an
Bangarang.
officer of the court, you
Yeah,
cannot do answer certain things. And
yeah.
and and
Bangarang.
and
Mm.
Silver, you know me a long time. When you see a person like me step back from social media, not posting at all or not posting much, right?
Mm.
Careful of what I say. Isaac is a lawyer, he's an attorney. He
Mm.
might make influence baits and stuff like that. He might make being online presence influence them for those talk careless things. Even
Yeah.
perceive him, him just talk some reckless things, perceive him. I mean, I say, why this learned man behave them with like some careless schoolgirl or
I
schoolboy?
heard something. I heard something about monkeypox, but I won't say it here. That was. I was surprised when I heard it about monkeypox. But anyway, well, guys, listen. Michelle, Kadian,
Yes.
you good? Make sure.
Yes.
Make sure you guys get Kadian book. Okay. Rasta Farmer. There it is.
Mhm.
Where is it? No, that's not. Where Rasta Farmer? There. Where Rasta Farmer? There. Not Rasta Farmer. Rasta Farmer. Rasta Farmer. There. Rasta Farmer.
Oh,
Kadian Snow, the Rasta Farmer.
Yes.
okay.
Right up for your new kids, Lester. Sorry, that's new kids.
That's cool. The
Kaden, I don't know
Rastafari.
if I spoke
Yeah.
to you about it, but you know, I spoke to Minister Grange through some messages,
Hello.
and I've said to her,
Can you hear? Can
you
you
hear
hear?
me?
It's frozen.
Oh, oh, Lester. No,
Who
nobody's
frozen?
frozen now.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Repeat now.
Let it go.
Yeah, I spoke to Minister Grange, and I expressed to her that before she diminish office, she need to start putting animation or get the animation of like the Jamaican culture, like Anansi and all these things.
Yeah.
We need all our heritage like that, our folk tourism being animation, so it is there as a legacy,
Reminder.
something we carry on with, a reminder.
Mhm.
And books like yearbooks and stuff like that should also be
Okay.
placed in
You
school,
know that I like that you touch on
stuff like
that point, Lester, because as I was saying to Silborn that I'm having this book is a series, Jailer on the Farm, Lucky on the Farm. So Jailer on the Farm, I actually touch on like some of our folklore songs. How the song go again? Sammy Pan, piece of corn down a
Donna
gully,
Golly.
and it beer till it kill poor
Poor
Sammy.
Sammy.
Sammy
Sammy
dead,
dead, Sammy
Sammy
dead,
dead,
Sammy dead,
Sammy dead.
oh.
Oh. So
Listen,
I
they
wrote
born it
about
in
that song in my book because I realized that we have to capture our culture in our book. So even in the Rastafari, I put my patois in it, but when I send it to people to edit it, I couldn't send it. I mean, I wish I could find people in Jamaica that I could use to edit it for me.
Really?
But because when you send it to persons here in America, they wanna you to change it over to their language,
To
and I
fit
don't
the
want that. I
narrative.
keep my language, my patois, and I keep my folklore stuff in it. Because I haven't heard that song in a long while, the Sabi Plan Piece of Corn, but based on the storyline that I have in the book called Jailer on the Farm, I had to put it in there because it's about deceit, deception, and how people can envy you for things that you don't even know. Yeah, and so I wrote about that I wrote it in it actually. I always incorporate a bit of my culture in my books.
How the song go again?
Sammy plant piece of corn down a gully, and it beer till it kill poor Sammy.
You know,
Sammy dead, Sammy dead, Sammy dead. Oh,
Kadian, let's say saying something. Is it?
Kadian, you know, says actually Sammy plant peas and corn.
Yeah. Peas and corn, yeah.
People keep on and say peas of corn.
Yeah,
I
but
was
you have to
singing.
put it like that because that's how we say it.
I was singing piece of corn a while ago. I was saying piece of corn.
Yeah, peas. It's supposed to be peas and corn, but when I used to sing it, people don't sing it properly. They sing
Michelle,
it piece of
Michelle,
corn.
you know it was peas and corn, Michelle, or it
Yeah,
was piece of
peas
corn?
and corn. I know it's the
Lie,
right. That's the because I
lie.
found the lyrics on
A piece
Google,
of
so
corn me didn't know it
I put
cause
the
it's
lyrics
true.
in the book. All right, so I know
That's
I'm
that. You
singing it
see, you
wrong, but
learn a
it's
little bit
supposed to
every
be
day.
peas
You
and
learn something
corn.
every day. A peas and corn. I forgot to ask my mother now if a peas and corn. For true.
Peas
Well,
and
it's
corn.
I put peas and I put the lyrics in the book, so you can Google it and you
Yeah,
find it. So I put reference to his song and I put
yeah,
reference to his name because
yes,
you have to highlight the people's, But I wrote about it in it because this is a part of my culture. These are things I grew up hearing.
yes, yes,
But you know, one of the problem though is that like local TV in Jamaica have little to zero local programming because local programming is very expensive,
mm,
and Jamaicans don't support local
Hello?
programming.
yes.
Not
Yeah, hear
anymore.
me?
Because I
Yeah,
know
hear me?
back in the days we used to have a lot
Yeah,
of local
I hear you. I
programs.
hear you, Lester. I can hear you.
Yeah. So but with technology now, Michelle and Kadian, is that people have Netflix accounts and them something. The people have them the Fire Stick, whatever do. So people are not tuning into to traditional TV
No, I
as they
don't even
want.
watch TV.
Can
Yeah.
anyone find this commercial for me? Let's say you can find it. How does I go through the bush? Now Miss Cassie Big Data. Where she a come for? She a come with Jagan. You remember that, Michelle? Miss Cassie Big Data. You remember
No,
Kadian,
I
that?
don't know
Oh, I
that
don't
one.
know. I'm a little bit young for that one. I don't know that one.
Huh? You remember that, Lester?
of course.
Yeah.
I know. Say that one. I don't know that one.
How does I go through the bush? Now Miss Cassie Big Data. What she bring things for? She bring things from Mass Nathan. When she come with a shed pan. You go,
No, I don't know that one.
I don't know
Is
that one.
that
I'm quite sure I'm older than both of them.
is a
you don't
Dragon
know?
I'm
commercial?
not that old, and I
No,
never
I'm
remember
quite sure I'm
hearing it.
older than Lester and Silburn, and I don't know that one.
Michelle, you never have TV them time, Michelle, but it's okay, Michelle, we understand.
No, Miss Jella, I'm TV. I left Jamaica from age 8, so
Oh no, you may not know it, Lester, because
You
unless
wouldn't know
you
it.
stay here.
You wouldn't know it, Michelle.
You don't know it then. You know it then.
I
Let's
so
say
don't
if
know
you,
it.
all of the rest, I'm in the know that one. Yeah.
let's say if you can find that, I would be grateful. If you can say I'll be grateful if you can find that.
And I'm Miss
commercial.
Lou usually, and I'm Miss Lou do that one.
No,
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 sir.
no, no.
It's a Dragon commercial.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a commercial on
the
TV.
commercial. Yeah,
Oh,
commercial.
Jamaica
no.
had some of the most innovative commercials, man. Even you remember the one with Big Boy and the Easter Bun?
Big boy and the Easter Bunny. Yeah.
Trust me, crazy
Oh,
commercials.
hot to water. Yeah. All right, guys. Listen. Have a good night. I think I might be coming on one more show next. I think the 23rd. I don't know. Maybe the 23rd. Oh, by the way, Guyana and Venezuela.
Venezuela.
They're talking, Lester. They're talking. You think they're gonna
That's
share?
good.
You think they're gonna share?
Because the big bad dragon step in.
Who that?
Who that?
What the dragon you
America?
mean? Yeah.
Who's the dragon?
Yeah, and
America.
the big bad
Sorry,
dragon
I don't
needs
know.
to step back.
Who is that? Who is the dragon?
What
America.
no America? Who step in?
I thought it was Putin as well. Putin and America coming. Do you think they're gonna share? Do you think they're gonna share?
After.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing is for them to share. Just
Share
sit
the
it
land.
right down and share it.
Wow. They should give the people them. They should give the people them a leg up, man. Give the people them some share, 2% share in the business. Both Venezuela and help the people them, man. Give the people them an opportunity to get.
Silburn.
What do you
Silburn.
mean, Silburn?
Silburn,
What are you saying?
Silburn? Silburn,
said-
what you're saying?
Yeah.
Silburn, what you're saying, you're 120 million% right. Do like what Saudi Arabia do, and do like
Saudi
what
Arabia. That's the country I was trying to remember. Yeah.
Libya,
Yeah.
what Libya do? Like each barrel of oil that is sell, the people of the country get a percent, like a 1% or 2% off of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that them for do. And you see the standard I live in
Standard living
increase.
go.
Yeah.
Let's
Right.
grind and everything because
Right.
what the country has support them. And yeah, so let's
Exactly.
I'll be grateful.
Guyana,
I'm trying to get my
I don't know if
yeah,
you know this, Silverin. Jamaica, I sell Guyana, Jamaica, I run out of
oil.
a first we have been selling Guyana something man recently, and we produce it the most in the Caribbean, and Guyana buy up all right now. Oh God, I phosphate. Somebody tell me since speaking up, we are the well. It's like even local market not can't afford to buy it because we are selling it to Guyana now because of the whole economic boom in Guyana.
Yes.
Oh God, I remember me text you and tell you,
It's remember,
but
yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, and text us and let us know.
Yeah,
Silver.
yeah. And
Wha-
and okay, let's I'll message you
What
after
is
let's
it?
start on it.
Energy? What is it? What is it? Some
no
kind
man,
of
it's a material, it's a material that the earth man we are sell them.
Yeah. Or
oh.
No,
or
no,
are you? Oh, no. All right, guys, we're gone. Michelle, Kadian, all the best. Let's
All
All
right. Have a
right.
good
all the
night.
best.
Have a
We
good
don't
night.
have a good one. I won't wish Miss Merry Christmas yet because we'll talk before that. All right, then Kadian. When Michelle is
All
she gone?
right.
All right.
Bye
Take care,
bye,
Kadian.
guys.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Take care. Take care. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. And those on Instagram, those on TikTok, those on Facebook. My Instagram touch test tonight didn't seem to work with Restream, but I'll call them to see what it is. Thank you for those who are on TikTok. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for those on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. All the best and have a good night. And may God bless you and have a good Sunday. And if I don't see you before, also have a fantastic Christmas when it comes. Thank you.